This is how your agency can book 15 to 20 more qualified calls per month. If you run a marketing agency and you're trying to book more qualified sales calls, stay with me for the next few minutes. I'm going to walk you through exactly how we can put your offer in front of every decision maker in your target market over the next 90 days without you or your team touching a single email. You're watching this because you replied to a cold email I sent you, which means the thing I'm about to explain to you already worked on you. Now, if you've tried cold email before, maybe you ran it in-house, maybe you hired a freelancer or an agency and it didn't work, felt spammy, or just fizzled out after a few weeks. I want you to hear me out because I'm not here to sell you on cold email in general. I'm here to show you why it failed and why that has nothing to do with the channel. Cold email didn't stop working. The way most people run it did. Every other channel available right now to you is either slow, expensive, or both. SEO takes roughly 6 to 12 months before it moves revenue. Paid ads get more expensive every quarter as auction costs rise. Referrals are great, but you can't scale a referral. You can't decide on Monday that you want 50 more by Friday. Cold email is the only channel where you can, with precision, choose exactly who sees your offer, put it in front of them this week, and scale that up or down on demand. Think about who actually runs cold outbound. Amazon, Microsoft, IBM, even Salesforce. Companies with marketing budgets bigger than most countries' GDP. Companies that could buy a Super Bowl ad without blinking. They still run cold outbound, not because they have to, because nothing else gets a qualified decision maker's attention this directly, this fast, for this little cost per lead. If the largest, best resourced companies on the planet haven't replaced cold outbound with something else, that should tell you something about the ceiling on this channel. Here's a part almost nobody explains properly. Cold email is a volume precision game, not a spray and pray game. When it fails, it's almost always one of the four things. Infrastructure, as in sending from a domain inbox setup that lands in spam instead of the primary inbox. Targeting, as in emailing the wrong decision makers or a list that's too broad or too stale. Messaging, as in copy written for 2022 inboxes when buyers have already seen that exact template 100 times. And then there's follow through, as in no one manning replies fast enough, so warm leads go cold before a human ever responds. This is how your agency can utilize our outbound system. Right now, we're running our own campaigns, and from our own testing with our new way of doing it through this AI model, we're seeing that around every 750 contacts, we're getting one positive response that is actually wanting to speak with us and wanting to hop on a call with us. So 6,162 leads contacted. We have around 69.93% open rate on the actual emails, which converts to a 2.6% reply rate and around 9 genuine positive responses that are hopping on a call with us. Imagine if we did the same for you, sending out 1,000 emails per day, how quickly your calendar would have ramped up and how many more conversations you'd be having with potential prospects that need your services. See, I'm not just telling you and hoping you believe me. Here's the real campaign we're running right now. 23,188 emails sent to 6,162 targeted decision makers. Open rate, almost 70%. Almost 11,000 of those emails weren't just delivered, they were opened. For context, most cold emails land at an open rate less than half of that. That's what happens when infrastructure and targeting are actually dialed in instead of guessed at. Fix those four things and cold email isn't just viable, it's one of the most predictable, controllable pipelines you can build. Because you're not waiting on an algorithm or a referral to feel generous. You are choosing who hears from you. This is the part most people skip, and it's the most important one. Knowing cold email works is one thing. Running it well is a completely different skill set. It's not your skill set. It's not supposed to be. If you or someone on your team tries to build this in-house, here's what that actually looks like. It takes weeks spent researching domain warm-up, DNS records, SPF, DKIM, DMARC. Get any of that wrong, and your entire email ecosystem, including the one you use to talk to your current clients, can end up in spam. Trial and error on messaging, burning through your best fit prospects with mediocre copy before you find what converts. Constant manual monitoring of deliverability, because one bad sending pattern can torch a domain reputation that takes months to rebuild. Time that isn't going into closing the leads you already have, running client work, or growing the agency itself. You didn't start a marketing agency to become a deliverability engineer. Every hour spent figuring this out is an hour not spent on the 3 to 5 skills that actually make your agency money. See, we're not building your system from theory. We have live campaigns running across dozens of markets right now, which means we already know this month, not 2 years ago, what subject lines get opened, what offers get replies, and what messaging gets a decision maker to book a call. The numbers back it up. On that same active campaign, we saw a 2.6% reply rate, 112 real replies from real decision makers, and out of those, an 8% positive reply rate. That's 9 people who saw the offer and said, yes, they want to talk, out of a list that started as 6,162 cold names. That data gets applied to your campaign from day one, instead of you spending your first 2 months finding it the expensive way. Here's what done for you means in practice. No vague promises. We build and manage the inboxes, domains, and technical backend required to send at real volume while landing in the primary inbox, not spam. 69.93% open rate on 23,188 sends in an active campaign right now. We position your offer to convert on cold traffic and map exactly who we're targeting and what we're saying to them. The same targeting approach that turned a list of 6,162 leads into 112 real replies. Written by a team pulling real-time data from live campaigns across multiple markets, not just a template. Your first campaign typically goes live within 2 to 3 weeks. From there, we split test copy, offers, and buyer personas, scaling sending volume over the first 30 days until we're running at full capacity. 24/7 inbox monitoring, sub 5-minute response times, qualified calls booked straight onto your calendar. You don't touch any of it. The 9 positive replies out of 112 on that active campaign didn't get missed or answered a day late. They got worked in real time. To be direct, this isn't for everyone, and it shouldn't be. This is a fit if you run a marketing agency with a proven offer, you or your team can actually close a call once it lands on the calendar, your market is large enough to support real volume, or your client lifetime value supports paying for a scalable acquisitions channel. Unfortunately, this is not a fit if you don't have a sales process to handle the calls we book, or you're not actually trying to scale right now. If that's you, no hard feelings. This genuinely isn't built for that stage. Pre-handling the obvious, can I just hire someone objection? You could hire one person to run this, but one person can't be your deliverability specialist, your copywriter, your data targeting researcher, and your 24/7 inbox manager all at once. Not well. What you'd actually be doing is hiring a generalist to do a specialist job and paying to relearn lessons our active campaigns have already paid for. The same campaign that's currently opening at almost 70% and converting nearly 1 in 12 replies into a positive, ready-to-talk lead. Then there's the, I've tried cold email and it didn't work objection. That's almost always an infrastructure, targeting, or messaging problem, not a channel problem. We fix all 3 before a single email goes out. There's the, isn't this just spam objection? Well, spam is untargeted and irrelevant. What we run is targeted outreach to decision makers who fit a specific profile, with messaging built from what's converting in live campaigns right now, not a mass blast. There's also the, how is this any different from the last agency I tried? Most agencies run outdated playbook. We operated from live current campaign data across active markets, and we own the entire execution, not just the strategy. If you've watched this far, you already know cold email isn't the problem. Execution is. The biggest companies in the world haven't replaced this channel because nothing else gets a decision maker's attention this precisely, this fast. And the numbers on our active campaigns 69.93% open rate, a 2.6% reply rate, real positive replies converting into booked calls aren't a pitch. They're what's happening right now for a client who isn't touching a single part of it. If you want a done for you system that puts your offer in front of every buyer in your market, click the link below and schedule a time to talk. We can figure out if it's the right fit and take it from there. Talk to you soon.